Cuando disfrutas lo que haces, creo que la palabra sacrificio sí cuesta un poquito explicarla porque para mí cuando tú amas lo que haces, pues no es sacrificio. No quiere decir que sea fácil, pues se vuelve, vamos a ponerle que menos difícil, ¿no? ¿Por qué? Porque disfruto mucho lo que hago.
Hola.
Do you guys have the questions?
Es que decidí hacer esta pelea y creo que es una pelea interesante.
You think I'm scared of you? La chinga de tu vida te voy a dar. Gracias. Gracias.
No, mi legado ya está y obviamente estamos en un deporte donde se gana y se pierde, pero como te digo, como lo acabas de decir, ¿no? Siempre nos preparamos para ganar y eso ya está escrito, ¿no? El sábado levantaremos la mano y mi legado no cambia, he hecho muchísimo en el boxeo, he hecho muchas cosas y mi legado ya está ahí.
Perfect timing for me to be.
We're dealing with a dangerous group, a group that's becoming even more concerning now. Canelo Alvarez, the former undisputed super middleweight champion, is set to return to the ring this September 12th against Christian Mbilli. It will be Canelo's first fight since last September, when he suffered a defeat to Terence Crawford that ended his reign as the undisputed champion. Now he's looking to begin a new chapter by challenging for the WBC super middleweight title against the dangerous French Cameroonian contender. The event is expected to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, marking the first time in Canelo's career that he won't have the overwhelming support of his Mexican fanbase inside the arena as he attempts to reclaim championship gold. Interestingly, the two fighters recently crossed paths in Egypt, giving fans their first glimpse of them together since Canelo's loss to Crawford and adding even more anticipation to their upcoming showdown. Speaking about his return, Canelo Alvarez
Hey guys, please be careful because this is company very dangerous. Okay? Left, right, please.
has revealed in a recent interview that his long absence from the ring was the result of major elbow surgery following an injury he suffered during his fight with Terence Crawford. The Mexican superstar also shared encouraging news for fans, confirming that his recovery has gone well and that he's back in the gym preparing for his upcoming showdown with Christian Mbilli. Although Mbilli is the opponent Canelo ultimately chose, he made it clear there were several other high-profile options available to him. Even after the setback against Crawford, Canelo expressed confidence that he remains
out in September. You had elbow surgery after that. You're now back in the camp, tuning things up. How does the body feel?
Oh, feel great. I've been in the gym for a month and a half now, and feels great. I did some sparrings already, and feels great. I'm really excited for the comeback.
And, you know, despite your last result, you have guys calling you out like in a line going around the block. Even Richard Schaefer's on the line, hoping to get in to get the payday. You got guys calling you out at middleweight, super middleweight, even cruiserweight, that are like, we want to fight Canelo next. You've seen, despite everything, you're still the hunted. Everyone wants to get into the Canelo sweepstakes, and I'm sure you're not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And you can tell everybody is looking for the payday.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm glad because you can tell.
One of boxing's biggest attractions and believes he is still the sport's leading star, there's no doubt about that. Canelo also explained why this comeback means so much to him. With his sights set on reclaiming World Championship gold, the Mexican star said he's motivated to face the biggest names holding titles and prove he still belongs at the top of the sport. While his immediate focus remains on Christian Mbilli, Canelo and his team are already discussing potential opponents for his next appearance in 2027. One name that has surfaced is fellow Mexican Gilberto Ramirez, but Canelo quickly dismissed the idea of a rematch. The two previously met in May 2024, when Canelo successfully defended his undisputed championship, and he made it clear he has no interest in facing Ramirez again because he considers him a friend. Instead, his team is exploring other opportunities, including the possibility of moving to a different weight class in pursuit of more world titles. Canelo also brushed aside retirement speculation, saying people will always have
time out. We spoke, you said you want to reclaim what's yours. Is this the first step to reclaiming everything in the division?
We don't know that. Obviously, we always want to make the best fights out there and break records. And when I step in the ring, I always break records, and that motivates myself.
Yeah.
So, and we don't know. We 100% focus on this fight and win this fight, and then we'll see. But that's the point is fight every single champion.
Because you say that, and I was thinking a couple of weeks ago, you were there supporting a former opponent who is now a good friend, Jaime Munguia, and I'm like, he just won a piece of the super middleweight crown, and if you two are the last guys standing, it puts you two in an awkward position.
No, I'm not gonna fight Munguia again.
Yeah.
No, we are in the same team, and we like Munguia. He's a great person, and he worked very hard. And we never gonna fight again. But we're always looking for good fights, big fights, and I think there's other big fights out there.
Now, after your last fight, some of the critics were out there and saying maybe age is finally catching up to Canelo. Maybe, he's had this long career, he's accomplished everything that someone could accomplish. He's got enough money in the bank to buy buildings. Does any of that get to you, or you just push that out like, I'll show them in my next fight?
No, I know, and I feel myself. I don't. People talk every time, good and bad, and at the end of the day, there is just opinions. Because I feel great. I don't want to say I'm gonna show them.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to show anybody. I want to show myself, and do my best every time I step in the ring. But people
opinions,
talk, and
but he's staying focused on accomplishing the goals he has set for himself. The boxing world is still waiting to see Canelo Alvarez face the biggest names available, and no potential matchup has generated more discussion than a showdown with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. For years, fans have hoped the two rivals would finally settle their long-running feud inside the ring, even as many believed the fight.
David Benavidez's performance against Zurdo and him calling you out after that fight.
Yeah, I think every single boxer for any division, they calling me out. So it's something, nothing's new for me that. But he did good, the fight.
Are you surprised after all these years he's still calling you names and looking to get that fight, even with him boxing as high as cruiserweight?
No, I'm not surprised.
Is it realistic for 175?
Huh?
Is it realistic to fight him at light heavyweight?
Who?
Benavidez.
I don't think he can make even 175 anymore. I don't know.
It was becoming less likely with time. Now, Canelo appears to have closed the door on that possibility. He suggested the bout is unlikely to ever happen, pointing out that Benavidez has already moved up in weight and is now campaigning at cruiserweight, making a return to the lighter divisions an extremely difficult challenge. According to Canelo, those changes in weight have made the long-awaited clash far less realistic than many fans had hoped. Speaking about Canelo's next opponent, Christian Mbilli couldn't hide his excitement for the opportunity.
When they asked for the fight, but I'm very happy to fight Canelo for my next fight.
Did you have before Terence Crawford announced his retirement, were you thinking there might be a chance you might fight Crawford since he had all the titles?
Maybe everything was possible, but he was waiting for Crawford. But some people say he's gonna retire, some people say he's gonna stay, but we was waiting for him.
Now, you've been waiting for an opportunity like this your entire career. How quick did you sign that contract when it came over?
The contract was not seen very quick because negotiation was very hard. My team was working for this fight. We are waiting for this fight along of many years before, and we stay active. We take a lot of fight, a lot of boxer, difficult fight, and when the fight come, my team was like they make sure that I have a good contract, and after contract negotiation.
Ahead. In a recent interview on the Ring podcast, the 31-year-old said he's thrilled to finally get the chance to share the ring with Canelo Alvarez after waiting years for a fight of this magnitude. Mbilli explained that he had been hoping for this matchup for a long time, but those plans had to be put on hold while Canelo focused on his blockbuster showdown with Terence Crawford last year. He also discussed the negotiations leading up to the bout, admitting they were long and challenging, but now that the contract has been signed and the fight date is officially set,
said after the fight, obviously, a lot of critics were like, maybe he's finally getting to his age. He started very young, as a teenager. He's not old in terms of age, but he started much earlier than most fighters would go pro. Did you see anything in yourself as a fighter that said, you know what, I see might be a little bit of a step off?
Of course, he started very young. I think he was 16 years old. 15 years old. He have a lot of fight now. I think his performance he's going down, but he's still very dangerous. I think it's perfect timing for me to beat him.
Some critics say you have the perfect style for him, and then other critics are saying after a year off and elbow surgery, this is not the kind of fighter he may want to get in the ring with, who's going to go right to him in the first round and throw 100 punches around.
Of course, I think I'm very dangerous fighter for him, and but I have to be careful too because he's Canelo. He's not like a small boxer, but I think I will make a very statement with this fight, and I'm very.
Mbilli says he's fully prepared to embrace the biggest test of his career. During the interview, Christian Mbilli made an interesting observation about Canelo Alvarez's current stage of his career, suggesting that now is the ideal time to face the Mexican star. He pointed to Canelo's recent elbow surgery and lengthy recovery as factors that could potentially work in his favor. However, Mbilli quickly balanced that statement by emphasizing that age and injury do not make Canelo any less.
More pressure, more combination, and I'm going to work my defense too. But I'm in the ring to put great show, to make an amazing fight, and it will be the same for Canelo.
I think Canelo hasn't fought anyone with close to your style, in my opinion, probably since maybe someone like a James Kirkland at 154 pounds, but you're a lot bigger and a lot more intelligent in the way you fight than Kirkland. He was very reckless, and I think you have a better chin.
Of course, I have a better chin. I think, physically, yeah.
Do you think because Canelo, traditionally in his fights, he likes to start slow, takes a couple of rounds, examine his opponents, and usually his opponents let him. Because of age and what you've seen, you have to be the regular Christian Mbilli from the first second and test the veteran's legs out and his stamina to see if you could deal with those 100 punches around.
I will not change anything, I will throw punch the first second and the last second of the fight, and I hope he will be ready because it will be an amazing fight for him. I think he will regret to be in the ring.
Dangerous. He acknowledged that the former undisputed champion remains one of boxing's elite fighters, with the experience, skill, and power to defeat anyone on the biggest stage. Even so, Mbilli made it clear that he isn't intimidated by the challenge and intends to deliver the best performance of his career when they finally meet in the ring. Mbilli also revealed the approach he plans to bring into the ring against Canelo Alvarez. Confident in his own abilities, he believes his unconventional fighting style and unpredictable movement could create problems for Canelo, especially during the opening rounds as the Mexican star tries to read and adjust to him. Mbilli also highlighted his durability, expressing confidence in his ability to absorb Canelo's power and remain dangerous throughout the fight. He understands that defeating one of boxing's biggest stars will be an enormous challenge, but he's convinced his
you do best that he won't be able to deal with, that he may not have seen before with his opponents, especially at super middleweight?
My aggressivity, my pressure. He never fight people who throw a lot of punch like me and put a lot of pressure. And I think, yeah, physically I'm going to destroy him.
Your last time out, you were with Lester Martinez, which was a tough fight. He's also very skilled, very tough fighter, and it was one of the better fights last year. It was a contender for many people for Fight of the Year. It wasn't the outcome you wanted. Obviously, you and your team felt strongly you should have gotten the decision. Is there still unfinished business there down the line?
Yeah, you know, for this fight, I was not ready. I was not maybe in 15% of my ability, like my energy. I make a great training camp, but before this fight, I have made like 6 months of training camp before my last fight, and between my two fights, I was not have time to rest, and we have big opportunity to fight in undercut of Canelo and Crawford. We say yes, but I was not ready for this fight. I think if I had like 2-3 months of rest before the fight, it will be completely different fight. I think I will be able to destroy him like I do every time.
So did you feel like, as the fight went on, like a difference in your stamina and your endurance that you haven't felt because of the circumstances you just described?
Yeah. I was not 100% to this fight, and for sure, 100%.
Because I remember watching it up close, and I was very up close. I was like, wow, this fight's even better than I anticipated.
Yeah. And I was only 15% of my ability. If you see, if I was like 100%, it would be
skill set, toughness, and ring IQ give him a genuine opportunity to make life difficult for Canelo and pull off the biggest victory of his career. During the interview, Christian Mbilli also sent a clear warning to Canelo Alvarez, saying his relentless pressure and high-volume punching could become the biggest challenge the Mexican star has faced in years. Mbilli believes his aggressive style, constant forward movement, and non-stop work rate are unlike anything Canelo has encountered, and he's confident those qualities will create serious problems once the fight gets underway. Looking back at his most recent outing against Lester Martinez, which ended in a draw, Mbilli admitted he was nowhere near his best. He explained that he entered the bout after enduring a demanding 6-month training camp with virtually no time to recover before accepting the short-notice undercard opportunity. According to Mbilli, the accumulated fatigue left him performing at only a fraction of his true level, draining both his energy and stamina. He insists that with a full recovery and
Martinez and Mbilli, I'd much rather him fight Lester Martinez. Both of them are similar in stature, but Lester Martinez is more of a boxer where he can give you chances of him pulling back and you can crack him. And Mbilli stays in your chest. He's a fucking tank. He stays in your chest. He squares up. He fights from the southpaw stance, left-handed stance. Hard to look good against guys like that, and a natural, bigger fighter. That's going to be a tougher fight for Canelo. And at this stage of Canelo's career, he doesn't like physical fights. He likes to impose his aura. He likes to impose his reputation, guys to be intimidated. It ain't going to be Christian Mbilli. Mbilli has power, aggression, and he's ready for this moment, ready for the payday. It's going to be a tough fight for Canelo. Mark my words, man. Tough fight for Canelo.
And there's something else. Just it speaks to who Canelo still is, though. When you talk about a guy like Canelo Alvarez coming back against a guy like Mbilli, I mean, just lost by the skin of his teeth the last time out versus Martinez.
It was a draw.
It was a draw, exactly. But what do you think has to happen? And it's weird because it feels like he lost. But because I guess where Lester went on to achieve glory. But what do you think that Canelo has to do to look good versus Mbilli? What do you think he should be working on right now to come back strong?
Look, man, the only way to make it an easy night against a style like Mbilli is boxing. Canelo's not a boxer. Canelo's not going to be moving. Canelo's a flat-footed fighter. He's an older flat-footed fighter with 75 damn professional fights. He's been fighting professionally since he was 15. He's war-torn. The last thing you want is to be war-torn, to have physical ailments, and be in there in a physical fight with an undefeated puncher that's hungry for this moment. You got to give it to Canelo for stepping up. They must have paid him a huge amount of money, that Saudi money, to step in with Mbilli. It's a dangerous fight for him, man.
In proper preparation, he would have comfortably defeated Martinez and shown the version of himself that he believes is capable of challenging Canelo. Christian Mbilli is determined to score the biggest win of his career by defeating Canelo Alvarez, and some boxing analysts believe he has a genuine chance to pull off a historic upset. Among them is former world champion Sergio Mora, who issued a strong warning about the dangers Mbilli poses. Mora described the French-Cameroonian contender as a physically imposing fighter who constantly pressures his opponents, stays in close range, switches stances with confidence, and throws powerful combinations that make him an extremely difficult matchup. He also pointed out that Canelo is no longer the young fighter he once was, having gone through 75 professional...
So real fighters fight real fights.
But since you know how the date is opening up, would you like to, cement of September and May for you guys?
Over. May and September, we're taking over.
Jose, do you think that was strategic of them to try to, wait for this weekend, right? First he announced that he's coming to the fight, then he announced, his next fight, kind of seeming to ride the coattails a little bit of David?
I think he's chasing cloud, to be honest, to promote his fight and do more appearances. We know where Canelo's going. He was pound per pound. He's not even ranking the rankings right now, so I think we're all going to go through that stage, and I think his era is done, Reflexes, speed, power, legs are not there. So we see a Canelo declining little by little, and now he's trying to get some clout to promote his fight.
With his skills diminishing, like in your opinion, how does the Mbilli fight play out? Because Mbilli is a tough guy, right?
To be honest, it could be another loss for him. Like I said, Mbilli is a little bit fresher, but I don't think he's an elite fighter. At the end of the day, they're trying to put fighters that he can beat. Not guaranteed, but fighters that are not. Nobody wants to see that fight. It's not an exciting fight. He doesn't bring any more excitement to the fight. He hasn't brought any excitement to the fights. So, Cinco de Mayo is open for a great opportunity for the Mexican monster. We are gonna look spectacular. We can't just win a fight. We gotta look spectacular in order to show the people that we belong here. And we're taking over September.
Bouts and countless tough battles. According to Mora, Canelo has become a more methodical, flat-footed fighter who often relies on his presence and experience rather than getting drawn into exhausting exchanges. Because of those stylistic factors, Mora believes this matchup could turn into a brutally physical contest and one of the toughest nights Canelo has faced in recent years. Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of David Benavidez, also took aim at Canelo Alvarez for choosing to stage this fight in Saudi Arabia during Mexican Independence Day, a weekend traditionally associated with Canelo fighting in front of his home fans. While admitting that Canelo could still come away with a victory, Benavidez dismissed the idea that he remains the biggest attraction in boxing. He argued that Canelo's reign at the top has come to an end and claimed David Benavidez has become the new face of the sport. Benavidez Sr. went even further, saying Canelo is no longer the same fighter, pointing to what he believes is a noticeable decline in his speed, reflexes, punching power, and footwork. He also criticized the matchup itself, insisting it was carefully selected by Canelo and his promoters, while arguing that boxing fans have grown tired of seeing what he described as safe, hand-picked opponents instead of the elite fights they truly want. The boxing world remains deeply divided over this upcoming showdown. Some believe it's the perfect opportunity for Canelo Alvarez to bounce back from his defeat, reclaim a world title, and remind everyone why he's been one of boxing's biggest stars for so many years. Others, however, see the fight as a dangerous gamble, arguing that Christian Mbilli has the style, youth, and momentum to pull off a career-defining upset that could permanently impact Canelo's legacy. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Canelo's return to the ring? Can he capture championship gold once again, or will Mbilli shock the boxing world in September? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest boxing coverage. We'll see you in the next one.